water. Two simple hydrogen atoms merged with a single oxygen one to create the harbinger of all life in the universe. It is Earth's most precious resource, but it's also the substance most responsible for ruining our favorite outfits, electronics, and parades since the very beginning of time. And that is why waterproofing techniques have been on the forefront of technological advances since, well, technology was invented. And although nature provided us with rudimentary water protection in the form of tree branches and caves, it quickly became apparent that we needed to protect our warm-blooded selves and tribe mates from the harsh thermal robbing effects of constant drenching. These evolving forms of water protection came to be measured by their ability to resist humid and damp conditions, known as damp proofing, or their ability to resist water infiltration, known as waterproofing. Now, water and dampness resisting techniques usually involve covering an object with something that will help it to repel liquids. The original Scotchgard treatment from 3M is a great example. It was used on furniture and clothing, inherently porous materials, to resist water penetration and prevent stains from spills. But modern science has taught us that just because we can doesn't mean that we should, and the fluorocarbons used in the original formulation of this product were capable of causing liver failure and birth defects. So new techniques needed to be developed both to overcome those downsides and in response to new demands, like that pee-repelling wall paint that causes public urinators to accidentally soak their pants and shoes, or bringing it back somewhat more on topic, the developments in the protection of electronics, where they originally turned to cumbersome physical barriers that either prevented or impeded their use, but have, thanks to modern technologies like the 2013 development of nanomaterial coating 1,000th as thick as a human hair, are now able to protect electronics by just covering them with this tiny layer that forces liquid molecules to bead and roll off of surfaces without penetrating them, allowing for things like the new waterproof mobile devices that we've seen, with some relying on rubber barriers for extra protection, but others leaving exposed their headphone and power jacks, like going bareback. But these methods also aren't the be-all and end-all of waterproofing techniques, and whatever a manufacturer may claim, the best way to prevent water damage is still to keep your stuff from getting in contact with water, which is why waterproof headphone jacks often still have a little rubber seal at their base, and serious waterproof items like Pelican hard cases usually follow the old steadfast method of encasing an item in something durable and then tightly sealing it in, which carries the added benefit of decreasing an object's vulnerability to higher water or atmospheric pressure, often measured in numbers atmosphere, with each digit representing 10 meters of depth, with the only disadvantage to this technique being that it also restricts access to a container's contents. And anyway, unless total submersion is the plan, more often than not, water-resisting techniques combined with our final waterproofing strategy, controlling and routing fluids around, is amply effective. You'll see this method used in the overflow port on your bathtub, on your house in the form of a waterproof roof, and gutters to keep liquid from pooling and penetrating, and even in Lenovo's water rerouting ThinkPad keyboard, which can survive a direct spill on top of it. But that's the key to all of this, I guess. A spill. Just because an item is rated for a general type of water protection, and you can learn more about these standardized ratings up here, that does not mean that it will stand up to prolonged or extreme exposure cases like rugged water sports or adventures in the salty blue sea. There's a big difference between long-term solutions and protective measures. So just because that new phone is rated at safe to however many meters or whatever, that is not an invitation to make dropping it in the toilet a morning routine, especially for coffee drinkers. Speaking of morning routines, it sure is hard to get up in the morning if you stayed up all late reconciling your accounting numbers and, logging your hours for jobs. No, forget about that. FreshBooks is the online accounting tool that is designed for freelance workers or small businesses. It makes invoicing, getting paid, and tracking your expenses easier and helps you get organized. Little details about cash flow are all in one place so you know where you stand, and you can see a full history of each invoice, allowing you to log your hours, check if your client has viewed the invoice, even Pay from within FreshBooks. That can be an obstacle. By credit card. So there's no excuses for why they haven't paid. So if you're your own boss, you should be using stuff that makes you feel like a boss. And FreshBooks is an easy way of doing all your billing online so you have more time to do the work you actually want to be doing. Head over to freshbooks.com/techquickie and enter TechQuickie in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Oh yeah, there's a free trial too, by the way. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, do that thing. If you didn't, then do the other thing. Leave a comment with video suggestions. If you have comments with video suggestions, don't forget to subscribe and follow. And if you're looking for something else to watch, we had a great video over on our Linus Tech Tips channel, taking a bunch of different graphics cards and finding out what the actual difference in performance from one card to another, in spite of them being identical, can be. Very interesting stuff.